Roger Norris, supposed best friend of Liam Payne, trashes him. We got to talk about this. But before we get into it, hello, my name is Sebastian and I cover all things pop culture. We have been, of course, covering Liam Payne. I did a full recap of the TMZ documentary on Liam Payne. I wrote down so many notes. I'm so grateful you guys saw it. There was a lot of very disturbing things on there, I will have to say. You know, before we get into the video, I wanted to make something very perfectly clear. I think the way that the media is treating Liam, if you just Google right now Liam Payne, the amount of negative and disturbing things are being said. And I don't quite understand it. I know that I am part in the media, if you will, right? Like, I have a YouTube channel, obviously. I don't know if I consider myself in the media, but like, you know, I talk about what's in the media, I guess. So I guess I'm like a distant cousin from the media. I don't understand how people forget to be human beings. Like, this is just like a parenthesis before we get into it. I just don't get how people forget that we are human, that this is a human being, that he has a family, that he has a son, a parents, family members, like fans. Like, I don't quite understand what goes on in these establishments. Like, do you? Because I don't quite understand that shit. Anyways, Roger Norris, if you guys didn't know, in the documentary, he did say a couple of really disturbing things, which of course now is getting a lot of, media attention. So all of the freaking media outlets are talking about Liam Payne's close with encounter to death, right? Before. So basically, Roger Norris in the documentary, one thing that he did, which, you know, I said in my video, but I'll say this again, because I every time I think about it, I find it so crazy. But in the documentary, he does mention that he, right before he says, like, I'm Roger Norris, this and that, like, best friends with Liam, whatever, really good friends with Liam. The first thing he said was, Liam and I were very different. And for example, you know, I've never drank alcohol or had any drug or anything like that. And I'm like, you are really trying to cover all your bases, aren't you? Like, you're trying, like, even right in the intro, what you are trying to do is distance yourself from him, from any way possible that you could be found, guilty of any bad doing, either abandonment or just being a bad example or enabling, right? Anyway, so in the documentary, he does mention about 2 or 3 separate occasions that Liam Payne, was going through, which I actually found so unnecessary for him to talk about. For example, it's already out there, best friend. He talked about how Liam Payne had to be resuscitated once before, which of course now that's making all the news outlets, right? So Roger Norris says that Liam Payne was kind of known for escaping hotel rooms, and that he actually did that when he was in Palm Beach. It was like 2 weeks before he passed, or like a month before he passed. He and his bodyguard, it says here, a month before in Palm Beach, he had a huge argument with his bodyguard when his bodyguard was trying to protect him from an episode, which he alludes to it being a DRUG episode. It says here that the bodyguard really wanted to protect him and locked him in his room, right? So then Liam allegedly got a garden hose, the green ones, and climbed his way down, and all he did was brag about it. And then the next day he fired the security guard, which Roger Norris said something in the lines of, he was a really good guy. Right off the bat, why do you gotta say that? Like, even if that is true, why do you have to put his shit out there like that? That happened in May. Do you know what I mean? And he also says that earlier in May, Roger says that he spoke to Liam's manager, and Liam's manager confirms that Liam was going through a very hard time, and he nearly OD'd twice, and he had to be resuscitated, and he was checked into a psychiatric facility for 3 days, right? So he's saying all of these things, right? And in my opinion, Roger Norris is trying very hard to put Liam Payne into a light of, look, I mean, he was really messed up. I had nothing to do with it. Well, you had everything to do with it, Roger. And this is why you had everything to do with it. Because if Liam Payne was so messed up as you are claiming that he was, okay, why the hell would you think that it was normal for him to be tipsy in the morning? Why the hell would you allegedly know that he was on substances and not do a damn thing about it? And why the hell would you think that it's okay when the text messages have leaked that allegedly say that Liam Payne asked Roger if he can get some of the substances? Why? Tell me why you think that's okay. Why? Because you are an enabler. Why? Because you didn't give a shit about him, in my humble opinion. If my friend was struggling so much, you think that I'm just going to sit there and enable this motherfucker? Absolutely not. I care for you. I love you, best friend, and I'm not going to fucking see you go down. If you really cared about him, you would have called his damn parents. You would have called his family. You would have called the authorities. You would have locked him up. Okay, locked him up somehow in a facility somewhere. Okay, and you would have made sure he was okay. But you don't leave him. Okay, because what he is doing is he is trying to put Liam in such a bad light, like the addict. Okay, and kind of like, you know, erase any or delete any kind of suspicion of any other wrongdoings done. He wanted to make it seem like Liam Payne was responsible for this. And he had no reason to talk about the things that he talked about. You know what, Roger Norris? I know now why you were not invited to his funeral. I know now why Kate Cassidy didn't like your ass, okay? Because you are an enabler, okay? If all you are saying is accurate, if all you are saying is true, then you were the worst friend in history. Because like I said, if my friend was suffering and was going through it, I would not leave their damn side, okay? I would do anything in my power to protect them. And you did not. Okay? And bringing up his past is so incredibly disgusting and dark. And you have an agenda. And your agenda is just to clear your name. And it doesn't matter what kind of dirt you throw on his. And you should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm so happy you were not allowed in that funeral, because you are the last person that should be there. Okay? Anyways, listen. Now the headlines, of course, are all throwing dirt on Liam Payne. Everyone is talking shit. Everyone is saying he was an addict, this and that. I don't give a damn what anyone is saying. Why is having an addiction such a bad thing? Listen, in the retrospect of, it has nothing to do with your heart. It has nothing to do with your soul. It has nothing to do with your intentions. It has nothing to do with you as a human. You have a disease. Stop trying to paint Liam Payne in a negative light because he allegedly had a disease, okay? That is so disgusting. It had nothing to do with his charitable heart. It had nothing to do with, excuse me, with everything that he did for people, with the way that he cared for people, with his kind eyes. Had nothing to do with his heart and his soul. So stop trying to put dirt on him, okay? I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to stop. I know that we are not going to stop until there's some justice for Liam. But it's not just justice for Liam now. It is also, we have to clean up the bullshit. We have to clean up the darkness. We have to clean up the bad people who are doing whatever it takes to bring Liam's memory down. And I will fucking never allow it. Okay? Period. Anyways. Sorry, girls. I mean, listen, it is just, you know what? It is just so disheartening because why have enemies when you have friends like that? I'm sorry. Seriously. And again, why? Why is it, if this was true, why is it such a bad thing to have a disease like addiction? That doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that you fell into, you know, wrong times and you have to pick yourself up and you need support more than ever. But to bring someone down and to judge their character and just judge them overall as a human being is so sad. And, you know, coming from experience like that, I could never. So, I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more headlines. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more stories. So just get prepared. But I will be here fighting the good fight, honey. I will be here with you guys, holding hands and getting justice for Liam. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed for more, and I'll see you on my next video.